Welcome back. This is the L2X chat with me, Henry Bai. In our last chat, we discussed a few tips on how to build one's own emotional intelligence. In this chat, I'm going to point the barrel of the gun in the other direction and talk about practical tips on how we can help others develop their own emotional intelligence. One of the fundamental roles of leaders is helping others become a better version of themselves. Emotional intelligence is such an important quality that helping others develop it's a very noble aspiration. There are many stories of people who have been immensely impacted by learning from the stories of other people, and helping people develop emotional intelligence will be a powerful way of multiplying such success stories. I'd like to suggest a few tips on how we can help others build their emotional intelligence. The first one is storytelling. Sharing stories is just one of the most powerful ways of communicating. Stories are a great way to learn from the experiences of others. Stories stick in the memory and can shape perceptions and attitudes. Stories provide learnings and challenge without appearing to lecture people, and so it's more likely to receive acceptance. Stories can create multiple learnings. As often, people can pick different lessons from the ones even intended by the storyteller. Number two, mentoring. Mentoring is the act or process of helping and giving advice to a younger or less experienced person. Mentoring creates a space where a less experienced person can learn from the experiences of the more experienced person. Mentoring involves walking the journey or a part of it with the mentee and providing an opportunity to avoid the mistakes they could have made. Mentoring creates the space where a mentee can ask questions and get real advice on situations they face in real time. They typically take the time to get to know you and challenges you're facing, and then use their understanding and personal experience to help you improve. This relationship is additional to a manager or a boss and benefits from a more personal and confidential structure. Mentors have the potential to become lifelong friends, or the relationship might only last until you've achieved a goal. There's no one size fits all, really, when it comes to mentoring. Then there is coaching. Coaching is a useful way of developing people's skills, abilities, and of boosting their performance. It can also help deal with issues and challenges before they become major problems. A coaching session will typically take place as a conversation between the coach and the coachee, a person being coached, and it focuses on helping the coachee discover answers for themselves. Even more importantly, the coach does not give the coachee answers. They help them decide what the answer should be, and they then commit to taking action. After all, people are much more likely to engage with solutions that they have come up with themselves rather than those that are forced upon them. Coaching helps unleash hidden potential and get the best out of individuals. In some organizations, coaching is still seen as a corrective tool, used only when things have gone wrong. But in many, many settings, coaching is considered to be a positive, improving approach for helping others explore their goals and ambitions and then achieve them. The other one is peer mentoring. In usual situations, mentoring is between a more experienced person and a less experienced person. Mentoring between or among peers can be equally as powerful, as peers tend to explore what works and what does not work in their own experiences. Where this is between a group of peers, the concept of collective wisdom comes to play, and sometimes this in itself can be very effective. Of course, people in peer mentoring situations always have an opportunity to bounce their ideas off more experienced people. I love this one. Simulations. Simulations are exercises that put people in situations where they are required to mimic real life situations and give them a chance to look at how they make decisions and how they relate to others in making those decisions. It is those pressure moments where people are given much less time than normal to act, behave, and make decisions, and then receive feedback later. They can mostly immediately see the impact of their behaviors and what becomes their default positions when they are under pressure. Simulations provide a fine opportunity to look at the question of how would you have acted or done it differently. This is a question that works really well in both mentoring and coaching situations as well. Very few people will answer that question and say, I will do nothing differently. Almost everybody will identify one thing or the other they will do differently. The feedback loop. Most organizations have a process where people get the opportunity to get what is often described as 360-degree feedback. This is a process where individuals receive feedback from their boss, their peers, and their subordinates. This pool of feedback helps a person know what they do well and what they can do better. Where this is questionnaire-driven, patterns can form which will point to behavioral areas that an individual is clearly strong in and where they are weak in. Individuals need to become comfortable with obtaining such feedback and on an ongoing basis, working through their journey of emotional intelligence. So as I bring this chart and possibly this series to a close, remember that each one of us have a big role to play in helping others build their emotional intelligence, whether as peers, coaches, mentors, or feedback providers. Always, do you have a leadership question that you would like answered? Have you heard anything in this chart or the series of charts on emotional intelligence that has triggered a question on your mind? Or is there any thought that you would like us to explore some more? If you answered yes to any of these questions, go to the comment section and drop us a comment or a question or a suggestion, or send us via the email on the screen, and we'll be very happy to interact with your question. Don't forget, like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel, and also hit the notification button so that when we share new content, you will be the first to know. This has been me, Henry Baye, on the Lead to Exceed channel. Lead to Exceed, inspiring leaders, multiplying impact.